Stay tuned and let's build this Marvel Legends Strong Guy Build-A-Figure. Pow and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Today we have come to the end of yet another wave of Marvel Legends, and this time it is the Deadpool wave, aka the Strong Guy Build-A-Figure. And that is what I have on the table right now. All of the pieces you need to build the Strong Guy. And to do that, you will need to buy all the figures in the wave, which include Deadpool, blue and yellow version, Black Tom Cassidy, Shikla, Maverick, Sunspot, Warpath, and Pirate Deadpool. You buy all 7 of those figures and then you will have all of the pieces you see on the table right now, and you can build your very own Greedo, aka Strong Guy, one of the members of the X Factor, and a figure that's very highly anticipated, and it sort of completes a team in the Hasbro sort of era for the X Factor team, which I shall go through as I build this up. So I usually always get this wrong on camera, but I'm assuming that piece goes there. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Right, so there's the torso, the back piece, torso, arms. Now these should be simple enough. Plugs in, there. Now I always get the feet wrong when I'm doing it live on camera. The head, there's only a tiny head. So that's his whole gimmick, is that he has big, broad shoulders that don't even fit through doors, but then a tiny head and tiny sort of average size legs. So let's make sure I put these on the right way around. Pow! So there we have him all built up. Greedo Costello, aka Strong Guy. And you can see he is in his classic looking X Factor uniform. And Hasbro have been teasing this guy for a while, and now we finally have him. So he stands at just a tiny bit under 8 inches. And his character design is spot on in figure form, as he is very top heavy, he's very broad. So his sort of mutation sort of made him really big and up here, but then he still had his sort of average sort of skinny legs. But that is the perfect character design. He's always had that little whiff of hair as well. And what's quite sad is that Greedo is constantly in pain due to his mutation, and he sort of absorbs sort of kinetic energy to a certain extent. But he is a big brute. He is the muscle of the original X Factor team, and he's been quite a few people's sort of bodyguard and an enforcer in the comics, as you would imagine, as he doesn't look like a guy you want to mess with. But I will get out the rest of the classic looking X Factor team, as we sort of have a complete-ish X Factor team now for our Hasbro shelves. But let's zoom in, check out some of the details, see what the articulation is like, but so far, so good. Taking a closer look at Greedo, you can see how small his head is in comparison to those big, broad upper body, shoulders. But again, spot on for the character design, and I really like the choice of face as well, as I've gone for a smile, which is perfect for the character, because Greedo's a bit of a jokester, a bit of a class clown, always making people laugh. He uses humour to sort of mask his pain, because he's constantly in pain due to his mutation, so he uses humour and jokes as to hide that. So a smile is the perfect expression, and I love that little whiff of hair as well, and those goggles. So his head sort of sits in that collar, and there is a bit more sculpted detail there, as you can see that sort of zip, but that's all painted in the yellow, but it is raised. But other than that, the whole sort of there's no texture, it's just all quite smooth, which is fine there. So there's the big red X. Shoulders, you get that layered sort of chrome effect, which I quite like. Bit of silver there, and it goes all the way around onto the back. But as I said, not a lot of texture, quite smooth, but it's fine, that's good. Moving down to the waist, no waist swivel, but there is a diaphragm joint, of course, so there is a good range of articulation for him. Big brute, so he needs fists as well. Perfect set of choice for fists rather than grippy hands, because he's a brute, he's an enforcer, he's a bodyguard. He needs to be punching people. So as I said, he comes with 2 fists. Moving down, this is a separate belt piece. It's like a rubbery plastic, and you can see a bit more detail on there, but again, it's in the all yellow trunks, and then blue bottoms, and then a tiny bit more yellow on these sort of cuffs on the ankles, but there is no sort of hidden swivel there. It's just the ankle pivot, which I'm fine with. But as you can see, his legs are tiny in comparison to the rest of the body. But again, articulation is good. So while we're here, let's look at that. So the shoulders will go up to 90. As I said, the plastic is quite smooth, so no sort of friction there. And he's got single jointed elbows and then a hinge on the sort of wrist. So you can get him flexing a little bit, I guess. So there we go, spin that round. So yeah, you can get him flexing, doesn't look bad at all. Diaphragm joint, goes forward a little bit, goes back a little bit more, does make it a tiny bit gappy there, but nothing major. You can bury his head a bit, so he's looking down, and then you can look up as well. So that's not bad, but it's not great either. But it is a small head. Legs can go out quite far, to be fair. And then double jointed knees, of course. So he can nearly, yeah, he can kick his own ass. Forward quite a bit, back a little bit, I guess. And then, as I said, there's no boot swivel or anything, but there is a decent ankle pivot, and there is, of course, a thigh cut as well. So, yeah, not bad articulation for a builder figure, especially a big broody guy like him. He could have easily just been a big chunk of plastic that didn't move a lot, but we do get a nice bit of articulation, so we're going to give him some decent poses, but I want to see what he looks like with the X Factor. So as I mentioned, Greedo, aka Strong Guy, sort of completes the second iteration of the classic X Factor team in Hasbro figure form. So let's put that together right now, shall we? So first we need his best friend, which is of course Jamie Maddox, aka Multiple Man. I do believe these two are best mates in the comics, but it's Multiple Man. We need more than one, and thanks to this great community, I have exactly that. So this first one is thanks to the Wolfpack lads who sent me this over a little while ago. Thank you very much. And this third one is thanks to a recent live stream. Mark Tac sent me one of his many over. So I had a sane OCD and now I have 3 multiple men. So thank you very much to Mark Tac and of course the Wolfpack for my multiple men. But they're not the only members. Well, member of the X Factor. We need the original leader, which I believe was Havoc. Obviously Cyclops' brother. And there he is in his classic X Factor uniform with that X on the chest there. And then Polaris as well, in her X Factor uniform. These two come in a recent 2-pack. And you can see Polaris has the X on her chest as well. But she's not the only female member of X Factor. Another one of Greedo's good friends was actually Wolfsbane. But we don't have a single release of Wolfsbane yet. We just have this Danny Moonstar sort of head and hands pack in. So this is the best we can do at the minute for Wolfsbane. Hopefully Hasbro give her her own release down the line. But for now, that is how we have her. And that is a sort of complete team, to be honest. But you can work your way through the ages. And they did add more members. I believe Quicksilver was a member of X Factor for a little while. So there we have Peter there, looking good. And then I think they eventually got a new leader, which was Forge. I'm not sure if he replaced Havoc or was on the same team as Havoc. But there is Forge. Another member of X Factor. So again, with all of these, you can mix and match and create your favourite version of X Factor. So Strong Guy is definitely that big broody guy of the team, and definitely rounds out this squad in figure form. Sorry, that was terrible framing, so I thought I'd give you a better view. You can see Strong Guy's big enough and strong enough to actually just hold a figure sitting on his shoulders. So there's Wolfbane on his shoulders and he stands there, not a problem, even though skinny legs. But yeah, we have a nice little X Factor lineup here and they look great together, but I'm sure you guys can get them posted up much better than me. And since I had Black Tom Cassidy's BBF just sitting right there, here we have Strong Guy compared to Juggernaut. And you can see the main difference in the size is in the leg area. Look how big Juggernaut's feet and legs are compared to the tiny feet of Strong Guy and those skinny legs. So he will wobble and fall if you haven't got him posed properly, but he will stand nicely as well. So it's all about balance, people. Here we have Strong Guy compared to a couple of other figures in this wave, and this is a good example of scale as we have Sunspot and Warpath, and Warpath is only a little bit shorter than the actual Builder figure. I don't know if that sort of shows that Warpath is too tall or maybe Strong Guy is a little too short, but I think they scale good together. I do like how these look. Here's 2 more figures from this wave with Maverick and of course Black Tom Cassidy. And since this is the Deadpool wave, here we have Strong Guy compared to the blue and yellow Deadpool, and of course Pirate Deadpool. And who's that on his back? Oh, Hank, get off. So I tried to put Greedo on my rotating base to finish this video, but he was too top heavy and it just wouldn't work. So here he is standing completely still, but that's fine because he's a great builder figure. Honestly, really like this builder figure. If I was going to get Greedo in one look from one era, then I'm glad it was this X Factor era. He has had a few different looks over the years, but I wanted this one to sort of round out that X Factor team on my sort of X-Men universe on my shelf. So very happy, and I'm always curious to hear what you think in the comments below, but I genuinely think this is one of my favourite builder figures of the year so far. So as always, make sure you check out every single review for all of the figures in this wave on the dedicated playlist, or just go to the videos tab and have a flick through. But most importantly, help the channel grow, and please, please, please hit that subscribe button. And if you are in a position to support the channel, you can do that on Patreon. Links in the description below. But until then, people, my name is Dan W, and I will, of course, see you on the next one.